Welcome back to the channel. Got another one for you today. We're going to be doing the, second annual spring startup of all the running Cub Cadets I have. So I apparently picked the last week before it actually becomes summer, so it's still quote-unquote spring. So let's get to it. To mix it up some from last year, instead of going oldest to newest, we're going to go newest to oldest. So the first one being the 1782. This one has not been started since the end of last summer, so it's been a while. The battery might even be dead, but we'll give it a whirl. Let's see if we can get going. So this one is a 1992. 1782. It's got the diesel in it. It's a super. Put it down. Glow plugs. Oh, we got glow plugs. This one's a little tricky. It only runs on 2 cylinders right now out of the 3, so still one day have to fix that, but it doesn't really get used much. Let that glow for a few seconds. And then this one, the solenoid stopped working, so I gotta push that in. Let it get nice and hot. So for whatever reason, the power wire that goes to the solenoid is not getting power to it. So I have to make a little jumper wire here. And now it cranks. So we'll glow plug it again and see what happens. Hit the glow plug. Been a little bit since this one's been running. This one is definitely going to need some work, but still does run. So I'm going to give it some love one of these days. Next up, normally would have been the 1912, but that one I believe lost spark a while back, so I haven't gotten around to fixing that one yet. So next in line is the 1985 1512 diesel. This one has not been started since about April, so 2-3 months. See what she's got. Oh yeah. Next up, we got the 1984 Cub Cadet 882 diesel. This is one of my nice show tractors. She's nice and clean. All original paint, original tires, pretty much all original. This one has not been started in about a month when I moved it out of the trailer, so it didn't run too long. Definitely one of my favorites right here. What a great machine. Up next, if you guessed another diesel, you would be correct. This is a 1984 Cub Cadet 782D. The first tractor they started putting diesels in. And this one was started yesterday, so it should fire up. This one likes her glow plug, so we'll give her a good amount of time. Next up, the first of the gassers, we have a 1975 Model 800, and this one has a dead battery, so we're gonna have to figure that one out. And we also got a bee's nest by the looks of it. So let's take care of that, and then we'll worry about the battery. All right, so the bee is on his way out. Got his little fancy jumper pack. That says we are at 12.3 volts. That's not terrible. Okay, I thought it was. I just threw it on the trickle charger a few minutes before, but let's give that. This one hasn't been started officially in a few months, since like last fall, but nice. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh, it chokes out, that's why. So the deal with this one, needs a carburetor cleaning, but it does run at almost full choke. Pretty good. Haven't got a chance to do that yet. But when this one runs, it's a good runner. I'm gonna leave this one to run for a few minutes. Hasn't been ran in a while, so get the juices flowing. In the same shed, we have the 1974 169. It's the 16 horse Kohler. This one's also a little temperamental at times. Gotta do a quick B check now on these things. Try not to get stung today. This one was started about 2 months ago. Runs good at idle, but once you get to higher speeds, it spits and stumbles, so definitely needs a carb clean in the future. Let's see if she'll fire up for us. See, as soon as you go up, it dies. That's about as high as we can run it. So we'll just take it slow. That one likes to backfire sometimes, so it's always a little scary when you shut it off. So up next is a 1972 Cub Cadet 86. This is one of the smallest ones with the 8 horse. I guess the 800 is too. So this is also a new one joining the fleet that was not in the lineup last year. This is a good yard tractor. Use it all the time. And this one has not been started in about 3 weeks. I've actually been using the red diesel for a while lately. Check my fluids. Oh, we're like on fumes on gas. Let's add some. Well, the one quirk about this one is every time it sits for a day, you have to go like this. Take the clutch down. Here, reach in here and get the clutch disc loose. It likes to lock up every day for some reason. Once you do that, it's fine now. Interesting, that one always fires up. Surprised that one took so long. Usually fires right up. Next up is my 1970 Cub Cadet 147. This one I've had for quite a long time, but it's been messed up most of its life, so it's never really worked. I bought it and painted it soon after. I mean, it's not a perfect paint job, but it looks nice. And then had motor issues, so I didn't use it much, and then it just kind of sat in the back of the shed. And then last summer, I found a good original paint motor to stick in it. So I bought that, put it in. So it's not the original engine, which I still do have, but looks pretty good. And it runs really good. And it gets my tractor working again, so. Turn the fuel on. So this one hasn't been started also in about a month and a half, 2 months, I'd say. So let's see what she has to offer. Chokes all the way out. That likes to choke, take it off. Next up, we're jumping series yet again to the 104, 105 series, 124, 125, all that. The blue line, whatever you want to call them. So this is my favorite series of these guys. They're old looking, but still kind of useful and still comfortable, user friendly. So this is a 1969 Cub Cadet 104. Pretty optioned out, got headlights, hydraulic lift, it's got a creeper. It's got a rear PTO. So pretty cool. This one's been a little while since it's been ran. I think I had this out in maybe April? March or April it was out. So 3 to 4 months ago, we'll say. This one's always been a good runner, but that'll be proven right now. Next up on the list, I got a early 1968 Cub Cadet 124. This is a 12 horse Kohler. This one's all original. Eventually got to get down and buff this thing out. I think it'll come out pretty nice. It does need some clutch work as it rattles quite a bit. The PTO needs some attention, and I got to find grill springs for it still. Other than that, not too bad. Should fire up. Had this one running 2 months ago, and that was after sitting all winter, and it fired right up pretty much. So let's see what she's got to offer for us. Way out. Have to get that replaced. Next up is the one that started it all, my 1967 Cub Cadet 125. Had this one doing yard work a couple weeks ago, so should fire up. I know the battery's a little weak, but I ran it quite a bit. Getting to the end of it here, we got a 1965 Cub Cadet 102. This is what we started on last year, so everything from this and further, actually the next one was here last year, but the one after that, which is going to be the last one, is new. So this one should fire up. I had this one going not too long ago, month or two. Choke in, little throttle. very good chance we're out of gas. Gassed up, let's see if we can continue on. I just pulled this one out of the weeds, or not under the weeds, but it's under the tree. This one has not been run since last year when we did this, or maybe a couple days afterwards, but still needs a good amount of work. I'll get to it someday, but let's see if we can't run. I put some fresh fuel in it. The battery is dead, we have a jumper pack, so the biggest thing's gonna be if we still have spark. Key switch is acting up. Make sure you're wide open. Well, unfortunately with that key switch being bad, or it's really highly finicky, but mostly finicky on the non-working side. So unfortunately this is not gonna make the lineup, so. At least you saw it run though, so it still sort of counts as spring startup. Can't say we didn't try. Just needs a little love and it'll be running again. I eventually want to do a quick little repaint on it and kind of fix some of the messed up stuff so it's at least a functional tractor for me here and something I can actually use. So we're going to skip over this one, which would have been number 13, and go to the next one that'll now be 13 and the final one, which is this one. I just finished redoing this one earlier this year. I had this one running a couple weeks ago. It's a 1961 Cub Kid original. It's a 4-digit. And it is also pull start. So let's see what she's got for us today. Joe. Wonder. So here we are. 13 tractors in all this year. I was hoping to get 15, but as you saw, the 100 was not working just now, and my 1912 was also not running. So this is about half of the Cub Cadets that I own right here. Got a good chunk of them. So of the tractors that didn't make the lineup, I have we'll start with the 982. That would fit right in here in front of this one. I have a 1650 that would fit in here again next to the 800. I have a 1450 that would also be in between there, so that would push that lineup down. Then I have a 149 that has a second transmission added to it. That would fit right in the middle of these guys. I have, let's see, another 125 that would go here between the 124 and 104. And then I have two other, what I call the sister 125s. They're all really close in serial number. So those two would follow the original one here. And then the 100. And also I have two 72 model currently. One would go there, one would go there. But this is our lineup, so I'll run through the years. We got 1961 Cub Cadet Original, 1965 Cub Cadet 102, 1967 Cub Cadet 125, 1968 Cub Cadet 124, 1969 Cub Cadet 104, 1970 Cub Cadet 147, 1972 Cub Cadet 86, 1974 Cub Cadet 169, 1975 Cub Cadet 800, and we got 1984 Cub Cadet 782D, another 1984 Cub Cadet 882 Diesel, 1985 Cub Cadet 1512 Diesel, and 1992 Cub Cadet 1782 Super Diesel. I'm impressed I remembered all those. Can't forget the big red one. This is a 1945 Farmall H. So for attachments, on this one we got a Brindley garden cart. This was an aftermarket one, but made to the same specs as original. Didn't go too crazy unless stuff was more or less permanently mounted to the tractor. I didn't add anything because that ends up taking all day. This one sometimes has a IH rear blade on it, but not today. For storage, it makes it a little more compact without it. This one has a track vac blower on it. I don't have the rest of it, but it's got the motor. This one has nothing. Got a rear belt pulley on this one with the rear PTO. I have another rear PTO kit, which I am trying to figure out what tractor I want to add to. If I get this one fixed up, I'm leaning towards this one. As any gear drive, maybe the 102. Another contender is the 86 and also the 800. This is a new attachment for this year. We got the number 40 box blade. They're pretty hard to find. This is original paint and everything, so Happy to have that one in the collection. 169 here, we got an IH rear rake that I repainted, did like a half-ass job. It's in rough shape, but at least kind of looks better. And we also have a 59M wood chipper on the front. Next we have the 800 with the sickle bar mower. Red diesel, just a 3-point on the rear. My 882. This one's got a 3500 watt pin cord generator on the front. I do have to slap a coat of paint on that at some point to match the rest of it. And lastly, the 1512 with a 3-point and pallet forks. And then the 1782 with just a 3-point. So that is all I got for this one. Hope you enjoyed the little spring startup video, although it's almost summer at this point. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps me see what videos you like the best and if I should continue doing this. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It helps keep all of these tractors running. So that is all. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.